Enhance your experience by becoming a supporting member. Gain access to unseen videos and video requests. 3-day free trial by visiting zionmembership.com. Chosen ones, empaths, don't be out there wrecking your brains, letting your mind run wild with the endless possibilities of why this discard occurred, right? Because that's what the empath does. That's what the chosen one does. You empathize. You introspect. You look at things from a sensible, comprehension, a rational comprehension, right? And all of your brain power and intellect and everything like that. And I'm not saying that some of you may have, got your PhDs and your degrees and studied well in school and stuff like that. But when I talk about intellect, I'm just talking about, common sense isn't common anymore. But among chosen ones and empaths, common sense is common, common sense is common amongst chosen ones and empaths. And, you have intellect. And the thing is you kind of view this situation you're going through from the discard, letting your mind run wild, endless possibilities circulating around your mind, about why did it happen? Is it because they went to a new supply? Is it because you were this way or that way? And this is what you'll start doing to yourself, right? This is what you'll start doing to yourself. And you really don't need to be thinking along them lines like you're way off the mark if you are. It's not your fault. Don't get me wrong. It's not your fault if you are thinking like that. It's a natural inclination. It's a natural thing to do, right? In a genuine relationship, right? If a person cuts someone off, right? It's natural to start thinking those sorts of things like, okay, maybe that maybe you weren't the relationship between yourselves wasn't what you thought it was, or just general reasons, right? But with narcissists, you're already awoken. You already woke up. You're dealing with a narcissist, right? I'm telling you, you're missing the mark if you're circulating around your mind thinking there's something wrong with yourself, thinking that someone's better than you out there, thinking anything along those kind of lines, right? I don't want your self-esteem to be affected, right? Your self-esteem should never be affected, right? You shouldn't be comparing yourself with anyone else in the whole entire world. Don't even compare yourself to another chosen one or empath. You're unique in your own right, with a unique fingerprint from your mother's womb, a unique eye print, a unique voice sequence. You're unique in your own right, and there will never be another you, right? But I'm telling you, what this comes down to, the basis of why a narcissist involved in your life, right, will go for a discard, right? Their main reason is because they're converting the supply source. Yeah, they liked the positive supply you fed them. They liked that. They enjoyed it. It was good for a time. But narcissists like negative supply more. So if that means, remember, they view you as property. They view you as an object. So if that means demoting you, converting your supply source, right, to someone who's more on the periphery, right, pushing you away, right, they know, because they've done temperament checkers on you in the past, they know your temperament, or they studied your temperament and thought they worked it out to the best of their ability, right? Naturally, you're going to rush in, try and fix the problem, try and reconcile, try to sort things out, be there for them, be concerned about them, possibly be thinking there's something wrong with them, or not wrong with them in the sense that they're a narcissist, but something's wrong with them in their health, or they're not feeling their best, and you'll start pitching in with that extra 20%, giving a bit more, trying to fix things, trying to solve things. They knew that you're going to do that, right? But you see, what they'll do is they'll make you out to be some psycho, You know, if they are with a new supply now, before they figured out that this new suppliers are dusty, right? If they're with a new supply now, they're gonna be saying, "Oh, my former partner, they're psycho and they're this and they're that and they're this and they're that." And then, what I mean, if you're phoning up their phone or you're contacting them or you're reaching out to them and they're playing this game, because then they're converting your supply source. And this is one of the fundamental reasons why they're putting you through the discard, right? It's not because someone was better than you. They're not paired up with that new supply because someone's better than you. They're paired up with that new supply because they can seek supply from that new supply. I hope you're with me. Please, chosen ones and empires, I hope you're with me. They're with that new supply because they can seek supply from that new supply, right? And also, they can seek supply from you because you're feeding them negative supply. And off your negative supply, they're going to the new supply, making out that you're this, that, the other. This is what they do. You are just part of the conversion of a supply source. That's basically what's happened. It's not because you're less than. It's not because this new supply is better than you. It's not because something you've done wrong. Right? Don't take your mind down that rabbit hole. Thinking what you done wrong, thinking what you could have done better, thinking what you could change about yourself, thinking how you could improve yourself. If you want to think how you can improve yourself in your own life for your own benefits, and everyone should strive for self-improvement, and I'm not just talking about going to the gym or anything like that, but in all aspects, reading books, like working on your purpose and that. You always hear me talk about that, like striving, it's hard, life can get in the way sometimes, it's hard. You have work, you have children, you have things like this, but you should always strive to improve, but that you're striving to improve shouldn't be on the basis of what the narcissist or what you think the narcissist views you as, you shouldn't be aiming to improve yourself to show the narcissist, right? You know what I'm saying? But I just want to try and clear something up now, because this is what happens, right? You go for a narcissistic discard. It's brutal. I'm sorry if I haven't paid enough attention to the emotional side of what a discard can do to someone. And please, I should have probably said this a lot earlier on in the video, and please forgive me for not saying it earlier in the video. I hope you're still here now. Going through a narcissistic discard from a narcissist involved in your life is a brutal thing, right? Especially when you're just bordering on awakening. When you're just awakening, you don't realize these people exist and stuff like that, and you're going through this kind of hurt. It knocks you for six, you know what I'm saying? You will start running your mind doing track and field, around 1,500 meters around the track, and you're circulating, you know what I mean, or running in a marathon in your mind, going through various reasons of why this discard has occurred, right? It's natural to do that. That's because you're a kind, loving, genuine soul, and you thought you was if you thought you was in a relationship that had the same value system, you know what I'm saying? But it didn't, right? They enjoyed your loving supply. They enjoyed all of that. They loved it. But a time comes in a narcissistic relationship when they want to convert your supply source, right? And if you play the game right, if you play the game right, it's a game, innit? To them, it's not a game. It's someone's life. It's your life. But to them, it's just a game, treating you like a supply source, run into a new supply. Please, I'm not trying to trigger any of you here that are very sensitive to this subject at the moment. I'm just being brutally honest, right? This run into the new supply is not about some reflection of what you wasn't, They've gone to this new supply so they can seek supply from that supply, and they can bounce off your negative supply and feed that to the new supply. I've heard of stories in sessions where the new supply rings up the old supply and threatens them with violence and things of that nature. They'll do this shit, I've heard these stories. I've heard this in sessions. They do this stuff, right? I've heard this a few times in various sessions, that I've held, of the new supply contacting the old supply. They're not just bouncing off that new supply with any energy that you're feeding them, right? You think you're feeding them healthy values and your loving, caring values and stuff like that. You know what I mean? they're not taking it as that. They're converting it to a negative source. They're pushing you away. They're making out to be negative. And they also go to their family. And they also tell their people at work. They also tell their colleagues and their friends how crazy you are. And how much of a psycho you are. And how you're the problem. Right? What it come down to is it occurred to them one day. Okay. They have a chosen one on them path that loves them. That cares about them. And they made a radical, rash decision to tarnish that relationship. Go to a new supply, right? That they thought they could deal with, you know. But they wanted it all. They wanted the whole pie. They wanted you chasing them. They wanted to bounce off this new supply. That's what the whole basis of this new relationship is about. Right? And now, what the narcissist will do now is they're in a bit of a conundrum. Okay? If you play it right, you don't reach out to them, you leave them do their thing, forget about them, right? I know that's hard for you to hear, but just let them go and do their thing. Let them go and entertain that new supply. I'm not telling you that so you take them back. Please press the like and the subscribe button. Help your brother out. It'll take 2 seconds of your time. Just like this video showing up for you, help it show up for someone else and help with the algorithm. Thank you in advance. But look, they have got this new supply, right? It's not a reflection of you. But if you play it right, you don't reach out to them. You don't act desperate. If you have acted desperate or you have reached out to them, just nip it in the bud from the point that you've realized this and the point that you can put it into action. Don't reach out to them. Let them go, right? Let them go and get on with their shit, right? Because they're complete fuck-ups, right? I'm telling you. They're going to have to stop. They're going to basically, this new relationship that they're in with this new supply was built off the back of you, right? The collapse of your relationship, everything you built up, whether that was a loving family home, beautiful children, everything like that, right? They built this new relationship off the back of your destruction of your relationship, right? So that's why you have to pull away, right? And let them, you know, fester with their new supply. Because then they're going to get desperate, right? They're going to get desperate. And they're going to have to start seeking other sources of supply. And I don't just mean in the romantic sense. What I'm trying to get at is they'll have to start bouncing off family members, right? Maybe making up lies about you, right? You might not have contacted them for months, you know? And they'll be making up shit about you. And they'll be feeding it to the new supply. They'll be telling family members. They'll be telling people at work. And then this is what it comes down to. They have to hold you close to them, right? They have to hold you close to them, even though it's from a distance, to feel that supply still, right? Even if it's imaginary. That's what it basically comes down to, you know? Because this new supply don't work out for them. That was built off the back of your relationship with them, all right? This new situationship they're in, this new supply, that was built off the back of your relationship destruction that they caused, you know? So that fizzles out very quickly. So they realize they're not getting a potent supply source no more. So they have to start bouncing off family members, friends, colleagues, associates, anyone. Doctors, you know. They might even all start making up health conditions and stuff like that. Seriously, this is what they're like. They'll start making up health conditions. What's that saying called? God, let me remember it. Psychosomatic. Let me Google that. Right? I'm telling you, these people are fucked. They'll start going to their doctor's surgery because they ain't got the chosen one, the empath in their life. They'll start going to doctor. I'm not making fun of everyone that's generally ill. Please understand what I'm saying, right? Let me Google psychosomatic. I'm sure it's psychosomatic. Oh, it's saying it's an actual illness. a physical illness caused by mental factors such as internal conflict or stress. Maybe it is a real thing, but what I'm trying to address, right, that was maybe the wrong definition I gave you, right? What I'm trying to say is they fucking start making shit up in their head. But they will actually start getting sick. They may have physical symptoms because they've lost the supply source, right? But they'll be going, doctor, they're very sick and shit. And then they'll start bouncing off the new supply. They're very sick. Oh, no. Then they're making the new supply's life a misery as well. The new supplies are dusty like they are. They're both making each other miserable, right? They're bouncing off the news. And all they've got is the remembrance of you, right? And I read a comment earlier on, right? I actually had to delete it because it was like, Zion, I like you. You sound like a narcissist. The narcissist doesn't crave for the supply or something like that, right? I just deleted the comment. I was gonna respond, but I thought it's just negative. I don't want any negativity on the thing, right? I don't usually delete comments. I usually respond to all the comments and stuff, right? But if this person's watching the video, like, what I'm trying to say to you is, you know, this person was coming from a standpoint of they go on with someone else. And that's what I'm trying to get you over the hurdle of, right? So what? They go on with someone else. They go on with someone else. As long as you know you're never letting that person back in your life, that's all that matters. You know? If you're letting that person back in your life, that's a whole nother thing, a whole nother video. But, I'm just saying, if you can get to that place where you're not letting them back, you realize that this person caused complete devastation in your life to garner more supply from you. Because they loved your loving supply, they loved your caring supply, they loved your empathetic supply, they loved all of that, right? But they felt it was more necessary to convert you to a negative source. One that was chasing after them, one that was pursuing them, one that they can start playing the victim over, one that they can start trying to drive to insanity, basically. You know, that's not what they wanted for you. They wanted distraction for you. They didn't want you to make it out of this shit. They didn't want you to come across these videos and other videos that are in the community, you know, helping people. They didn't want you to come across this or read books or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Right? So, if you can get over that person was in a place of hurt and nothing I said to them would have made sense to them. They've got it in their head that someone goes to a new supply and that means they can find anyone anywhere. And it just don't work like that. They're making out that chosen ones and empaths are so common in the comment as well. I don't even know if it was a narcissist, right? All I'm saying is, sometimes I get negative comments, right? But what I'm trying to address to that perspective, whether that was a narcissist that commented that or not, right? It was just a bit rude, I just felt like, right? Well, I don't know why they're calling me a narcissist. I'm just trying to say, right? You can tell who you are. You have values, you have morals, you have principles. You're a good person, right? These scumbags are clearly not on your level, right? And there's too much information out there making out that narcissists can just go with whoever and they're sufficed, if that's the right word. They're satisfied. They can't go with narcissistic people and have, like, if they can't have an authentic, genuine relationship with a chosen or an empath, what hope in hell do they have with a new supply that's a narcissist or a psychopath or a sociopath or something like that? They don't have a hope in hell, right? So please, chosen ones, as long as you've got it in your mind, right, that this wasn't about you, it wasn't about something you did, it wasn't that the new supply is better, you need to break from that perspective. Try it over a few days. Like, just try and distance yourself from that perspective. You need to put a whole new spin on this. Not a spin, but like a whole new perspective on this, right? The whole fundamental core principles of this video was basically that the discard is not because of the reason you think it is. It's because they're converting your supply source because they like negative supply more, right? If you pursue them, if you chase after them, they'll claim victimhood, right? They'll play the victim, you know? they'll get the new supply to contact you or attack you or do something like this. They'll bounce off their family members and do all this crazy stuff. If you just get on with your life, realize that, okay, it's a harsh lesson. It's harsh. You thought you loved this person. You thought you cared about this person. But they're a fucking loser, right? They're just a loser scumbag. Just, like, there's plenty of them out there. You can go and find one tomorrow if you want. It's not hard to find these people. They're out there everywhere, right? If you want to find something meaningful, you're going to have to search a bit harder, right? But that's basically what it comes down to, They're converting your supply. It's not going to work out with them if they couldn't work out with a chosen or empath. Someone who's loving, loyal, kind, building solid foundations, empathetic, genuine, pure. If they can't work it out with someone of that nature, like yourself, they ain't going to have a hope in hell of trying to work something out with this new supply, even their family members that are slightly toxic or narcissists as well, or whatever like that. And if you just pull away and let them get on with their bullshit, you'll starve them of supply, and they'll be fucking doing crazy shit to get supply. They'll be making up lies about you. They'll be going to doctors and claiming they're sick and doing anything for supply. You know what I'm saying? They'll be doing anything for supply source. They'll be, anything. They'll fucking be fiending for anything of supply, because what the motive is of them is they have to conjure up something that's of equal power and strength. And power and strength of supply doesn't always come in numbers, but in their mind, they would rather, because they've brutally discarded you in such a worse fashion, it's hard for them to build the bridge back across to you. So they would rather think that they can accumulate the potency of supply in numbers by going to the doctor, by going to their family member, by going to their dusty new supply, by going to their friends and work colleagues and conjuring up this thing like, in their cauldron, mixing up this supply, trying to get a hit, and it's just not cutting it, Remember, chosen ones, empaths, these narcissists that are involved in your life need an empath, right? And the chosen one to feel elevated. They don't feel elevated around toxicity. They take your good nature and try and use it against you for the form of supply. They abuse you through your good nature. Your empathy, this is why some people say it's a curse. Your empathy was used against you. But now you have discernment, and now you have the ability to judge well, right? Your empathy was used against you. All of your good nature was used against you. Even your pure, loving, kind, generous, loving, caring self wasn't enough for them, and they wanted to convert you to be negative, right? And they'll play the victim. So back away. Let them get on with their shit, because they'll start playing the victim, making out you're the psycho form of supply, making out that you're this, that, the other, I've heard it all before. New suppliers ringing up, the old supply threatening them, doing crazy shit, because of all the stories this dusty narcissist that was involved in your life has told the new supply, So remember, like I said, don't compare yourself to the new supply. Them going to the new supply is not a reflection of you. Them going to a new supply is not, them discarding you is not a reflection of something you did or didn't do or something you could have done more of. It's just not a reflection of you. This has all come down to the basis of a conversion of supply source, because they wanted to convert you to a negative source of supply. So I hope this video helped. I know I've been a bit all over the place in the video, but I hope you got the gist of what I'm trying to express in this message. I'm sorry if you felt like I was a bit distant emotionally. I know you're in pain, especially early days on. This is maybe one to save for your playlist and re-listen further down the line, because this isn't all going to sink in it's not all going to sink in at the same time, save it in your playlist if you watch it in a few months or something. Like, I don't know. Like, what I'm trying to say is, when you're in the place of hurt and pain and despair after being discarded, feeling like a reject, things like that, right? You really need to process your emotions and distance yourself from this narrative they're trying to paint you as. The things they told you was, see, I missed it out. The things they told you was, or the things they said you did or didn't do. It's not true, right? All of that shit is a heap of bunk, right? You know, all of it. You know, it's not something you did or didn't do. It's not something you could have done better, right? It's nothing like that. It's nothing like that at all. If you know you was a good person, you know you tried your best by your comprehension and by your abilities at the time by this person. You tried your best by them, right? That's all that matters, okay? If that wasn't enough and they wanted to convert you to a source of supply, they're a narcissist, right? And they're fucked up, you know? It's basically what they wanted to do. They wanted to convert you, right? They loved your positive supply. They loved it. They soaked it up. They soaked it up for a long time, or however long you was in the relationship with them for. They soaked it up for a long time. But they knew that they could convert that passion that you had into something negative. So back away now. It's time to back away. It's time to focus on yourself, and it's time to process your healing, right? And maybe come back to this video if you're fresh out of the narcissistic relationship further down the line. It will make more sense. I promise you, it will make more sense, right? But just remember, do not pursue them. Do not chase after them. Leave them be with whatever they're doing. Don't go on their social media. I should have really reinforced that in this video. I hope you're still here watching till the end. But just please don't go on their social media. That's still giving them supply in the spiritual realm. It's giving them energy. You know, just understand this whole, you've got to really rewire your whole thinking. Not all of you, some of you, but like, some of you already understand this, but some of you, it doesn't matter how far you are down the line, you know, like realizing that the discard wasn't because of what they're trying to make it out to be is something you really fundamentally have to understand for your own well-being, you know, going forward. So thank you for watching today. I really appreciate all of your support. If you'd like to donate or support to the channel, you don't have to, but if you'd like to contribute or support to the channel, you can always find the link in the description box. And I've got something I wanted to touch on before I draw the video to a close. I've launched a new free community forum on the membership website. It's open for everyone to use to build, expand, and connect to fellow survivors. I'm looking at the longevity of the forum, as I should have created one when I first launched the membership site. I'm also running one-to-one sessions. If you want tailor-made advice and me to shed some light on your issues, you can always reach out. The Empath group meeting is coming up on the 28th, and there's a new WhatsApp and Telegram group created for survivors to stay in touch. Lastly, if you want crisis email support and a plan of action, the links for all I've mentioned are in the description box below. And there's a video that may be very useful to you that will help out. Let me pull it up on my notes. These videos kind of go hand in hand. I think it's something that can be beneficial to you. You know, you have completely disregarded a key component about the narcissist. It's an important watch. So anyway, I'll be back with another video soon. Peace.